in a way, it's kind of like two free DAWs are going away, and you'll see what I mean in just a bit. But PreSonus have announced the release of Studio One Pro 7, and that's going to be released in early October. Now, with this announcement, they've said that the free version, Studio One Prime, is no longer going to be a thing. And really, it's not that terrible of news because the free Studio One Prime was fairly limited by not allowing you to bring in third-party plugins and not providing you with the essentials like a decent compressor. You couldn't do a whole lot of serious music production in the free version. So really, it wasn't a great introduction to their software. It was more just like a limited demo. And I've noticed with previous releases that they've been trying to phase out that free Studio One Prime for a while. So this really isn't a surprise to me. But one thing that is kind of surprising is that they also said that Studio One Artist is no longer going to be a thing. You were able to purchase a license for Studio One Artist. I think it was $99, but it came with a lot of their hardware and most of their audio interfaces and their DAW controllers, probably some other hardware as well. And that was a big incentive to purchase one of their little audio interfaces. I know I recommended the AudioBox USB quite a bit just because it came with Studio One Artist, which is a very usable digital audio workstation. So now what they're including is a 6-month subscription for their Studio One Pro Plus subscription service if you go with one of their smaller audio interfaces or devices. And with some of the bigger ones, you get a full year of Studio One Pro Plus. So you are getting a more advanced digital audio workstation, but you're getting it for a lesser amount of time, whereas before you got a perpetual license and you could use the version of Studio One Artist that you got for as long as you wanted or as long as your computer could handle that version. Now, another thing that I noticed with this announcement is the pricing of Studio One Pro. It's now going to be $199. Before it was $399 for a perpetual license. So it is cheaper to get into Studio One Pro, but before you got like 2 years of updates included for your $399, now you're only getting 1 year of updates for $199. And there is another option though that actually might be a little bit better. For $179, you can get an annual subscription to their Studio One Pro Plus service, and this includes a perpetual license to Studio One Pro. So it's $179 to get in on that. Plus you'll get some extras while you have that subscription, and you're going to get that 1 year of updates just like you would if you purchased the $199 perpetual license. It's kind of the same license that you're getting with both. You're just getting some extras with that subscription. And if you decide to end your subscription, then you still get to keep that perpetual license. There's just not going to be any more updates for your version of Studio One Pro. If you're already an owner of Studio One Pro, you can upgrade for $149. So that is cheaper than going with that $179 option. So there are options if you want to get into Studio One Pro. It is an excellent digital audio workstation, or at least version 6 was. I haven't tried version 7 yet. Hopefully I'll get my hands on that soon and give it a go, but version 6 was an excellent DAW. So don't let this detract you from getting into Studio One Pro because it is excellent. The price to get into it is actually cheaper now, so it's easier for you to get into it and start giving it a go, and maybe it works out for you, which I hope it does because it's great. But yeah, big changes for Studio One. Current users and new users are coming with version 7 in October 2024. It will be interesting to see how this all rolls out for them. Now, will this be the end of a free version of Studio One? And this is just me sharing my thoughts and ideas here. I have no insider information from anyone on this. This is just my thoughts on it. And from what I see, PreSonus seems to like to mirror a little bit Avid's business model. And I think it was 2 years ago or maybe a year and a half ago, Avid got rid of their free version of Pro Tools, which was called Pro Tools First. And at that time I said, they'll likely release a free version with a 16-track limitation, but no plugin limitations. And sure enough, they eventually released something similar to that, and it's called Pro Tools Intro. It's absolutely free. It's an excellent gateway if you want to get into the world of Pro Tools. So do I see Studio One coming up with something similar to Pro Tools Intro? I actually do, because I think it's an excellent way to get people into the world of Studio One by offering them a usable program for free. You get them started, you get them hooked, and as they outgrow that, then they'll naturally want to get into the higher versions of Studio One. So what might a free version of Studio One Intro look like if they call it Intro? I'm hoping they don't call it that. They'll call it something else. But what might it look like? Well, I think it could go maybe two different ways. There could be a 12 to 16 track limited version, but allow you to bring in your own third-party plugins, and that would be excellent. Or they could even offer that 12 to 16 track limited version and supply you with at least the essential plugins to do some mixing. So a decent compressor, EQ, reverb, delay, maybe some saturation and guitar amp sims, things like that. Just give some basic stuff in there so you can actually mix tracks in it. And I think either of those two options would be great, and it would get people excited to work in Studio One. It's kind of like McDonald's marketing plan. You win their hearts while they're young, and then they keep coming back when they're older. So you win these people over when they're just getting into music production, but they'll stick with you as they continue to grow. So yeah, more free DAWs have disappeared this year, but there are still some excellent free digital audio workstations out there, and you can click this video right here to see my top 3 picks for free DAWs. And if you liked this video that you just watched, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane. Keep creating. Fist bump. Thumbs up.